Hey there, Anna McKinley, and thank you for joining me. Now, this is the second of a two-part set of episodes on the bookends of your day, because it's the bookends of your day that actually set the tone for every day of your life. And of course, when we add our days up, that sets the tone for your entire life, right? So if we want to upgrade our life in any area, a great place to start is looking at the bookends of your day. What do I mean by that? Your morning routine and your evening routine. How do we transition out of sleep and into activity? And how do we transition back out of activity and wind down at the end of the day as well? So in the last episode, we focused on the morning routine side of it. That, what we do in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. So it's super important. If you missed that episode, do make sure you jump back and catch it. Today, I'm looking at the other end. So that, of course, is about, well, how do we transition out of activity and back into rest? Now, in a recent episode on improve your sleep and improve your life, I did talk a bit about the importance of bedtime routines for sleep quality. But the routines that we have at the end of the day are important for so much more than just the quality of our sleep. Because, while a great evening routine can help us relax and sleep better, it also sets us up for tomorrow, right? Sets the tone for tomorrow. It's a chance to look ahead and plan out your next day, and it's a chance to set things up so that your next day is so that you're giving yourself the best chance for success for the next day. And it also helps us to set our emotional barometer. So I'm going to go through those in a little bit more detail for you. So firstly, it is important to have a good routine for transitioning to sleep in terms of setting our brain up for sleep, saying to our brain, hey, it's time to sleep now, and helping our brain wind down. That makes a big difference to your health, your productivity, your memory, your ability to be innovative, your resilience, all sorts of things. So if you want to look more at that, make sure you do catch my Improve Your Sleep episode. I just want to expand on that here. So firstly, and there's a quote from Jim Rohn, which I love, where he says, never start your day until you've finished it on paper. And of course, he was talking about the vital importance of planning out your day so that you know what's most important, so that you can look at that, make sure that what you're planning to do is actually achievable, given the other commitments that you have, appointments and all of that stuff of life, right? And you can actually be super clear on what is the most important for you to accomplish, right? Because as they say, failure to plan is planning to fail. Right. So the thing is that many people go, yeah, I do that, but they do it first thing in the day. And what we're doing there is we're losing an opportunity to actually set ourselves up for success. A fantastic way of transitioning out of the active part of your day and into your evening is actually to wind up by pre-planning your tomorrow. Why do we want to do that? So that your brain and you know what's coming. And also, so that you don't have to start your day out by putting your plan in place. You already know what's most important. You can dive right out of it and use the most productive part of your day effectively. Right? So the other thing as well is if you actually take, and it doesn't actually necessarily take very long, once you get into a rhythm of it, to actually pre-plan what are your most important priorities to accomplish the next day. Once you've done that, it gives you the opportunity as well to set things up so that you're ahead of the game, right? You like the idea of being ahead of the pack? If you do, then this is for you. If you know what your important tasks are for the next day, then you can actually go, well, which one is number one, top priority? And you can set things up so that you're ready to get straight into that task. For example, set out whatever papers or documents that you need. Open up whatever documents you need on your laptop or computer and have them already open, so that all you need to do is just get started actually doing the work. Or another example is if actually your first thing in the day is to do some exercise, have your exercise gear right by your bed. Why does that make a difference? It means that we don't actually have to expend energy and willpower at that start of the day and time, getting over the initial hurdle of finding the things that we need to get started. You can get straight into action, which means you're getting straight into momentum, and that sets the tone for the rest of the day. So why would we pass up this opportunity, right? So you look ahead, plan your next day, and actually get yourself set up by making sure that whatever that most important first task is, you've got things prepared for it. Right? And the third piece there is we've actually got, with a great evening routine, a chance to set your emotional barometer. What do I mean by that? Well, have you ever noticed that often when we wake up, we tend to go straight back to the thinking place or emotional place that we were at when we went to sleep? If we go into sleep churning over a problem that we've got at work, we'll often wake up in that problem as well. Or churning over an argument that we've had with something, or something that we're worried about, or not enough money for XYZ, or worrying about the world at large, or whatever it is, we'll tend to wake up with our brain, our emotional barometer in that same state. If we go to sleep with our mind in a positive, constructive place, when we're happy about our lives, just generally enjoying life, then that sets us up to wake up and go back into that kind of emotional state. So what are some things that we can do? This is why a lot of people actually have, as part of their winding down routine, right at the very end of the day, practices to get into a positive emotional space. So what are some examples? Doing some appreciation exercises, just noticing things that you can appreciate about the world. And there's a lot if we get creative. I appreciate that I always have enough air to breathe, and I've got water that comes out of the tap, and if I flick a switch, the lights come on. We can appreciate things like that. The amazing things that actually go into making my body work, which, if we think about it, it's really quite incredible. We can appreciate that. So even if you're feeling in a negative state, if you use your imagination, you can find things. Gratitude journaling, similarly. And that's something a lot of people do, actually writing in a journal, things that they're grateful for. A really effective, robust, research-based extension of that is what I call the what went well exercise, which is finding even just 3 things in your day that went well. They don't even necessarily have to be things that you did or that happened to you, just things that went well in the day. They can be big, they can be small, they can be yours, they could be someone else's. What were those 3 things, and why did they happen? Again, it helps us to shift our emotional state, and if we go to sleep from that kind of a place, then we're better set up to wake up in a more positive state of mind. And remember, how we start our morning sets the tone for our entire day. So that's a great way to set yourself up for a more positive as well as a more successful day tomorrow. So there are some ideas for ways that you can transition and have a routine at the end of the day, in addition to your winding down for sleep routine, a routine at the end of the day that will set you up for success for all of your tomorrows. Take something, any of the little nuggets that you might have found from that, take something, have a play with it, and see how it works out for you. And hey, if you enjoy this content, do be sure to share it with someone else who could benefit. And I'd love to hear your comments. What particular things have leapt out at you as something that you might like to try, or as little ahas that you've gained. So if you're watching this on social media, make sure that you pop a comment in the comments below. If you're listening to this in the podcast version, you're welcome to stop by my Facebook page. You'll find the link in the description. Hey, thanks again for joining me. I do hope that you've gained something from this that you can start playing with straight away, because it will improve your life if you do it and keep doing it. All right, have fun with that, and I'll see you again in another episode soon. Bye for now.